Hi there, I'm Coach Chelsea. I want to welcome you to Stroke Team at NISD or the Justin location. I'm so excited to be here. I spent the last few seasons over at the WAC at the Flower Mound Pool with Stroke Team. I love working with Stroke Team. I have been on the pool deck for a very long time, and coming to LAC, I've loved working with young swimmers and developing them and teaching them skills to help them as they grow and move through our program. So I want to go over a few things on what to expect and maybe answer some questions that you might have as we go into next week and getting on the pool deck and getting started. First of all, what to expect when you get there. There's main doors, which I'm sure most of you have been there before. The kids are welcome to come on the pool deck. Please don't let them onto the pool deck or send them in more than 10 minutes before practice. There are other practices going on, so we just want to keep that transition time to a minimum. But if it's a few minutes before practice, go ahead and send them in. There won't be somebody over there at the doors. Just send them in and they will go to the bleachers and have a seat and just wait until it's their turn. On the first couple of practices, I'll go over some expectations with them. When they're there early for their safety and everyone around them, they are expected to be sitting on the bleachers, just kind of waiting quietly and waiting their turn. And then once we get started, they'll learn where they need to go at that point. What they should bring with them, they should wear their suit there. There is a changing area or a restroom that's available to them. It's right on the pool deck. They have access to that. And I believe there's one in the lobby that they can use. I'm still not quite familiar with all those rules and things at that pool since I'm still new to them. But you can ask the front desk. So they'll come in their suit. We like them to have a black, the uniform of LAC is a black suit or any arena suit and their red LAC cap. Those things can be purchased through Extreme Swim. They actually have a storefront, which is kind of rare and unique and neat to have a swim store. It is in Plano, but if you make the venture out there, it is worth it. They're really helpful. Or you can call them. Their phone number is on their website. And they also have a little pop-up store at the Keller location. So if you are ever in the Keller area, they do have hours for that. They do have some things that they carry at their little pop-up store there. But if you call them and say that your swimmer is new to Stroke Team with LAC, they'll be able to help you to guide you in the direction that you need to go. They won't need fins. They won't need their own kickboard or anything like that. They just need their suit. Just make sure it fits nice and snug. If they want to wear one of those long sleeved water shirts that keeps them a little warmer, I just ask that you make sure that it's nice and tight even when it's wet. Sometimes they fit snug, and then once they get wet, if they're a thin material, they get baggy, and then some of the kids start to play with them and it wraps around their hand and it becomes more of a distraction than a helpful tool. So they'll just need their suit, a good pair of goggles. In my newsletter, it has a couple links to a couple pairs that I really like. They last well. They've got good straps. They fit different size faces. They've just proven to me that they're a really good goggle for around a $20 price point. So they're not the most expensive out there, but they're also not the least expensive, but they're something that will last. So good quality goggles. They'll also need a cap, or if girls or boys have long hair, they will need to have it back tight. Even these hairs in the front, even if they're in a ponytail, it just needs to be nice and tight so that it's not in their face when they're trying to swim. But we do recommend them getting used to a cap, because as they move up through the program and into higher levels, then that will be an expectation. The red LAC caps are available through Extreme Swim, like I mentioned. So typically it would be good to get them ready to be able to be at the stroke meets, which I'll talk about in a second. If they have a solid black suit of any brand, but a solid black suit and their red LAC cap, that's what they'll wear to their swim meets. So if they have that, they can wear it both to practice and their swim meets. Practices are offered 3 days a week. For the Northwest pool, that is Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. They're offered 3 days, and we are hopeful that they can make 2 of those 3 days. There will be days that there is going to be some parking that is hard because of football games that happen right at the stadium across the street. And So keep that in mind. Maybe on those weeks, try to aim for the Tuesday, Thursday days, and maybe not try and attempt on Friday if you're gonna have to miss a day. Some of those home football games, it's gonna be a challenge because of the parking situation across the street, which you've probably already noticed. Other than that, those are things to kind of expect. Ways to get a hold of me. My email address is on the newsletter, but it's just chelsea.orr@swimlac.org. That's the best way to get a hold of me to start off with most questions. But if there's ever a time we need to talk in person or over the phone, of course, I am more than happy to make arrangements to do that. And but you can email me if it's a quick answer. My emails go to my phone, so I can usually just email quickly right back to you. Sometimes if it takes longer, if I'm waiting for an answer on somebody else or I need to go into the system and check on something, it'll take a little longer. But we try and get back to people within 24 hours during the week if it's a weekend by Monday, unless it's an urgent matter. I live here in Justin, so I am close to the pool now. I have two daughters who are in the Northwest School District. One of them is at Northwest High School. She's a freshman, and one is a 7th grader at the new Pike Middle School. So I'm right here and close by. So I will be looking forward to working with your swimmer. We have assistants and swim lesson instructors who will be popping in and helping us with practices, especially on days where we have bigger groups. So you might see, in fact, the first couple of weeks, we have our swim instructors who are doing some training. They're training with stroke team kids and going over freestyle and some backstroke drills. So you'll see some extra coaches on deck, which is gonna be beneficial to your swimmer because they are gonna be getting extra feedback those first couple of weeks. Speaking of the first couple of weeks, we spend a lot of time going over basics. So especially freestyle, we spend 2 weeks. There are some days we might only do 3 drills in one practice because we're doing that so many times, because things like head position and body rotation are super important. So we want to build those foundations, make them strong in the beginning so that then we build on that throughout the season. We go through a process. All the pools go through the same process with all stroke teams, and we start with freestyle and then we move to backstroke and so on through each stroke from there. Our first stroke meet is Friday, October 18th. That will be at the Keller ISD pool on Bear Creek Parkway. If you've never been there before, it's one of our other pools where we practice, and those will be on Friday evenings, and more information will come out about those. But the first one is Friday, October 18th. The second one is on the schedule for Friday, December 13th. That's our second one. So you can mark your calendars for both those things and try to be there if at all possible. So we look forward to seeing your kids be able to show off what they are learning these first several weeks at that first stroke meet. Again, more information will come on that, so not to worry about details yet. So the biggest things, make sure they come with their suit on, their goggles ready, and a towel for when they get done. And we'll teach them everything else they need to know. We look forward to having fun with your swimmer, teaching them a lot, building on those foundations, and seeing them grow in the pool and out of the pool as little people. So let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great weekend.